Hey everyone, welcome to a commentary with Zyra, the Rise of the Thorns. She's actually one of my most favorite mid lanes right now, other than maybe Karthus. I mean, she's a lot better at disabling than Karthus is, and she has quite an early game. She's got quite a powerful all game. I mean, her only downside really being early game, and even then it's not horribly weak, it's just that a lot of other APs outclass her at mid. At early game, such as like Ari or Gragas or anyone like that. Anyone that's a snowballer outclasses her in terms of early game damage. I kind of found that people were saying that her early game is still extremely strong, but I'm like, that's kind of pushing it. I mean, if you're stupid enough to stay in her plants, you probably deserve to lose lane against anyone else anyway. I mean, she's really good at zoning. I'll give you that. I mean, she's really good at zoning. That's what she's known for, though. That's what she's supposed to revolve around, is zoning people at mid lane and then controlling a team fight. She's like Morgana in that fact. Whereas where Morgana has a lot of sustained damage, she has a lot of burst damage, which is all what throws people off, and what people don't like about her is the fact that she seems stronger than Morgana in some regards because she has burst and it's right away. Because a lot of sustained damage champions are very underappreciated, I feel like. Swain is like a poster child for this. Same with Malzahar, but Malzahar has a few other little problems that make him sort of inviable. Namely, his lack of ability to do anything if somebody jumps on his face. That is probably his biggest flaw, but I digress. Sustained damage champions are very underappreciated. She has sustained damage in the form of her plants. She has burst damage in the form of her upfront burst with her Q, and with her ultimate. Granted, I think they should change her ultimate to, knock up with her ultimate, the knock up on her ultimate doing damage, and lowering the amount of damage the upfront burst goes. But certainly was in charge of that balance issue, and we all know how good he does in terms of those kinds of decisions. And I'm sorry for not trying to hide the fact that I'm not a big fan of him. I just don't like how he's kind of deviating away from what makes making a champion important. What makes making a champion what makes a champion important is what he does for his team, not what he does alone. Maybe at really low ELO, or when you're just starting out and you want to do things yourself and you want to feel like you're in control of whatever you're doing, that's important, but it's just, you have to look at how you'll benefit your team, or else there's just no point in even picking your character. I pick Zyra because she helps out my team immensely. It's not so much to get kills. I mean, this game I got a lot of kills, but that wasn't why I picked her. I picked her because I wanted to disable her. I wanted somebody that could control a team fight and have us win a team fight. It's one of the reasons you also pick Anivia, other than her insane base damage. I mean, you would pick her because you want to lock someone down. And with Zyra you can do that and still burst, and I like that about her. I like that there's something different. There's something that makes her unique. I like how unique she feels. She feels very unique. She has Heimerdinger's turrets, sort of, but they work differently. And she has early burst, and she has cooldown reduction, which I'm not a big fan of how she has cooldown reduction, because I don't feel like it fits with her kit. But she has a bind that can catch like up to 3 people pretty much. I guess one of the main reasons I like her so much is because she feels like Swain except with burst. She feels like Swain, and I like Swain a lot. And I was upset when people were saying nerf her like all day long when she was around. Her E was a little bit problematic, and they nerfed that, and I understand that. That's fine. They nerfed her E, and that's fine, and because her E is mainly supposed to be used as a utility spell, not as her burst. But, I mean, and the plant damage needed to go down a hair. I mean, that's fine too. But the movement speed decrease? I didn't really understand the logic in that. She's not really. I mean, she's a zoning mid, but she doesn't need to have the lowest base movement in the game, is what I'm saying. She really doesn't. That's just... But maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me thinking that they nerfed the wrong part of her, like they always seem to love to do. Like Riot seems to love to do. They love to nerf the wrong parts of champions. And this was horribly, unprofessionally planned out, I think. I think this was just because hot fixes are just... I mean, you have to be careful on how you do it. And they didn't seem to be careful. They just said, hey, everyone is complaining about this champion. Let's nerf everything about her until we get something right. I can only pray that they don't continue doing that. But I guess there's only so much you can hope for. See, look, there's just... I like the plants there. Your Q makes these ranged plants that hit things from long range and can have a big zoning radius. I mean, it's just... I love how much you can zone and how much you're pretty safe in lane, because you can just, as you can see there, I put a seed down so that I could see anyone that's coming through here. That's a technique that you can use pretty effectively, and you'll see later on it really saves me. And oh man, if you just saw that, it's just I am bullying this Ziggs out, and you guys know how much burst Ziggs has. He's gonna kill me a few times later on, but for the most part, I'm not horribly worried about him because Ziggs is pretty slow in terms of movement speed himself. But as you can see here, it's just me farming. I could probably fast forward through this and you wouldn't really miss much. We've got a gank going up top though. I don't really want to miss that. Renekton saw him. Yeah, as you can see again, my friend Ian, aka Turmoil, and Scone Thief are both in the same game, and we were on Skype just kind of jabbering onto each other. We had kind of a bad start, as you'll see. This Ezreal kept on getting really crushed by this Corki, and their Lee Sin was actually pretty damn good, I mean, in my opinion. Maybe that's just me, though. And I'm poking at this. I should have seen this coming. I think this is where I die, maybe. Yeah, I should not have pushed up this far. This Lee Sin was smart. Look, he goes around that way, and I don't know why he... there we go. Well, if they had dove me and Scone Thief or Eli was not there, they could have easily gotten that kill. But there's no guarantee that either of them could have... Well, one of them would have escaped. Well, one of them would have, but the other one wouldn't have, because I have my passive, which is basically Kog'Maw's passive, except it's ranged, and it's me being an enormous plant. It even does true damage and everything. Everyone's like, nerf the damage on her ultimate. I mean, on her... not her ultimate, her passive. And it's like, why? If you, like, walk to the left a little bit and then juke off that skill shot, you're not going to get hit by it. And I just, even though I don't feel like that belongs in her kit either, I don't really think that needs nerfs very much. I don't know. I think that Zyra right now is in a fine spot, and I really hope they don't nerf her anymore, because I don't want her to become... Anyone who knows what the history of Orianna knows how badly she suffered in terms of in terms of nerfs and how hard she got nerfed, just how hard she got crushed by that nerf like train. And Ziggs goes the right way, because if he had continued to gone backwards, then he would have gotten hit by that just like he did right there. And see, like, I don't know why people complain about her Q damage. That's about as much as Karthus's ultimate damage, really. I mean not ultimate damage. His Q, it's about as much damage as his Q. I mean, or at early ranks. It's not even that bad. It's mainly just kind of used as a little bit of a deterrent, and to make plants be able to zone somebody. I just like, yeah. Anyway, enough of me complaining about Zyra. Let's get to the action here. Here's my first blue buff, and so yeah, this is going to make my job a lot easier because I also have cooldown reduction. Ziggs is getting his blue buff too. I don't know. Doesn't look like. I mean, doesn't look like he'll be able to come back to lane after this though. And if he does, it's going to be really risky, or he's going to be trying to bait it out. It's been a little bit since I saw this game, so I don't exactly remember everything that happened. But yeah, he's going back. I was still worried that they were going to bait me out though, so I was staying back a bit. You might think that I'm way too afraid for how this is supposed to be. And by the way, here comes a part that I kind of regret, but kind of don't, because it got me a kill. I regret telling Ian to go in, because that was a stupid move. I almost didn't get a kill here, but thank God Lee Sin dove on me, because if he hadn't, I wouldn't have gotten that kill. Problem is, I mean, I told him to go in, I kind of baited him into dying. I didn't know how much damage Renekton would do. That's something you never want to do to your teammates. You never want to bait them into getting killed like that, especially when you don't know how much damage the enemy laner is going to do. If that were like a Singed or something, I'd say do that, but Renekton, his early damage is just way too immense, and there's just not a whole lot you can do. And, oh man, and Renekton's getting really low here. I don't know why. I don't know why Scone Thief turned around. He could have killed Renekton if he had committed, but whatever. Oh boy, but he's gonna get destroyed by Ziggs though. He was just trying to salvage something out of it, but he couldn't at that point. If he had gone after that Renekton, he probably would have gotten out in time. And Ziggs probably would have wandered into his death, actually, because Kennen would have followed him or something. And I saw Ziggs at top, but then I saw him going back mid, so I just went. Yeah, I'll put a ward there to see if he tries to catch me or something. Even though you've got those seeds, they only last for 30 seconds, so keep that in mind when you're using Zyra, is that you can put a seed down, but I want to do that if you think that they're going to be around that area. See, right there, I should have probably... Oh, man. And they're getting dove, but... Oh, jeez. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know why Ezreal went through there. I really don't. What shouldn't have happened is that they shouldn't have stayed at the tower. I don't know why they were. They should have expected that Lee Sin was going to come back in like this. I just don't understand. I don't understand why you'd stay in that kind of situation. Right here, I was not worried anymore about... Oh, that Ziggs uses his little stupid satchel charge to get away. I wasn't really worried about his Q hitting me because it had hit Nautilus. And I felt like I could go in at that point. Mainly with Zyra, you want to like play with a hybrid of being aggressive when you can, but also knowing your limits a lot. Kind of like TF, if I could ever even play TF, which, yeah, I'm really bad at TF, so you may not see a commentary of him, because it's just... TF, in my opinion, one of the hardest AP mids to use in the game, besides Anivia. Because... with Twisted Fate, you have to get a perfect, like, you have to get pick a card during the right situations. You have to have the right ones. Yep, and if you don't, then it can end up really screwing up your teammates. It can really end up screwing your teammates over more than it should. Like, if you pick a blue card instead of, like, a yellow card or something, you'll do a lot of damage, but you won't stun them, is the problem. And that can be a problem. Oh boy, that Renekton was really dumb. But Ziggs got both of them. I should have followed him, but I didn't know he was coming. So, that was silly on my behalf. I didn't want to go after Ziggs though to either, but because, like, I didn't want to feed him yet another kill. You might think that I'm playing it a bit too safe with Zyra, but the main issue was that she had just gotten nerfed, so it was the psychology of, well, she's weaker, so I can't really be that ballsy anymore. That's kind of a habit I gotta get out of, is being more scared than I have to be. Right here, I get an amplifying tome because I couldn't really afford anything else. I mean, Ziggs has more gold than me at this point, but you'll find out that that doesn't really matter that much. He's only 500 gold ahead of me. which I can easily farm back up, first of all. And second of all, while Ziggs does do damage later on, Zyra's late game is just much stronger than his, mainly because of the amount of utility she has. You'll see that, like I said, this game, as you can see, has just not been that good for our team, but later on it doesn't matter because of how our team was constructed. I saw that Ian was getting dove on, so I went ahead and started to go top, so that I could protect him in this time of need. I saw Lee Sin there. I didn't, and right when he was gonna do that, I went ahead and but I got that ultimate. I did that ultimate wrong. Was my thing, and I was staying next to Kennen so that, and I was like, oh boy, if Lee Sin had committed on either of us, we probably would have died. That was the thing. Like, I don't know why Lee Sin was so afraid to go in on Kennen. But yeah, and then I'm like, Ian, keep going back to base. Like, I told him that right before he did that, and if he had bead right here or right around here or something, Ziggs would have killed him. And I'm like, yeah, that would have been really silly to get away just to die. It wouldn't really be the best. Oh man, Ziggs got an extra 5 gold from my plant. What am I gonna do? And see, look, I farm minions like really fast. Even though we've actually got about. Let me look at this. Yeah, somehow he's still kind of beating me in gold. I think it might be because he ended a killing spree one way or another or something. That's someone else that hasn't really been seeing that much play lately. I mean, in solo queue you still see him from time to time, but I have not seen a Kennen in a tournament in a really long time. And I'm like, Ian, don't go in. Ian, no. No, that ain't good. But it's okay, he's still the big golem, so no big deal. I don't remember what I did here. I got a Giant's Belt because I wanted to be tanky against Renekton, and against Ziggs for that matter. Something that you can learn from, I mean, in mid lane is that you don't always want to go like super glass cannon and everything. Sometimes you want to build situationally like a Negatron Cloak, especially with a character like Zyra who's got decent enough base stats. You can just build a Negatron or a Giant's Belt depending on your situation. It's mainly up to how you put certain things together. I mean, I miss all my stuff there like a boss. Yeah, seriously, I don't know why. I don't know why Ziggs has more gold than me. We both have. We both had the same amount of kills. I had more CS than he did, so I'm not really sure what that's about. I wish they made. Oh yeah, they are gonna do that. They're gonna. I think next patch or something like that. They're gonna make. They're gonna make Zyra's E more visible. And whenever also stepping on her seeds isn't exactly helpful. I mean, isn't exactly the best thing to do, because if she sees that you're gonna try to detonate her seed, she's gonna poke you for a lot more than you would have wanted. Yeah, this is just me zoning him from creeps. I still haven't died yet, so I mean, I can still safely do so, especially with Nautilus right there. You always, all right. Here's something I want to bring to someone's attention, to everyone's attention, is when you have a jungler, you want to be aware of where he is at all times, regarding whether to be aggressive or not. Because if he's not right there, there's a big problem with. And I go ahead and nuke him right away. I don't know why Renekton went in like this. It's not like he could have killed me. I mean, especially with the flash right there. And yeah, he got damaged about as much as I did, so. And I'm like, oh boy, I need to get in there. I don't think he needed to flash like that, because the last auto attack hit him. I mean, hit Renekton. This was really risky, because here comes Lee Sin. If he had beat in either of these bushes, then he probably would have died. That's why he put a ward right there, so that he knew for sure, hey, this guy's, like, coming for me, so I want to get the fuck out of there. Alright, so I pick up my blasting wand, and I'm going to destroy face even more with Zyra. I have 3 kills now, and this is, I mean, even though Ezreal wasn't doing that top-notch, Corki can't really get close to Zyra. That's the problem. That's the main thing. And if he can, then chances are she's building wrong in the first place, and she deserves that loss. But that's the thing, is that certain characters can't get close to Zyra. And that's something that you can really think about when you're playing her. Think about who can jump on you and who can't. Because in teamfights, you want to be wary of those people that can. Especially when you have a character like Ziggs. I was worried in teamfights, and rightfully so. I was worried about the fact that if Ziggs focused all of his attention on me, he could kill me like instantly in teamfights. If Renekton focused all his efforts on me, if I built a Zhonya's, it wouldn't really matter. Same with Lee Sin. I mean, they're just... And right here, I'm going to discuss this play that I went through right here. I was trying to see if Kennen could bait him over here so that we could get a kill or two. I don't think we would have both gotten killed here, especially since Renekton seems to be taking the bait pretty well. Well, he also kind of backs off because he doesn't catch him with his dash. If he had caught him with his dash, though, if Ian had willingly sacrificed himself like a wonderful teammate or something to kill himself just to give me a kill, because that's not selfish at all. Also, we both saw him doing red, so I don't know what he was doing. There we go, auto attack kill, and I do that like a boss. Renekton has died doing really reckless things. Problem is, we also didn't really pay attention to Scone, and he got himself killed, and then he got kind of upset with us. But I'm like, dude, you could have let that tower go. It wouldn't have mattered to me, especially since we were probably going to push this bottom after. I mean, if Ezreal was smart, he would have pushed this bottom when Lee Sin was dead. I mean, then again, Corki is pretty ahead. Anyway, yeah. In the meantime, we're kind of just pushing this. I mean, Ziggs had bead. Ian wasn't really that afraid of Ziggs because, I mean, the main problem with Ziggs is that if you stun him or bind him or anything, he is going to get destroyed. I mean, that is a counter to other people, but Ziggs is slow in and of himself. I mean, he's got his satchel charge, but it's not horribly reliable of an escape, especially in the heat of battle when you can't really position it and you're getting your ass chased. There's just not a whole lot you can do. And, mainly, you have to, like, really ignore him in order for him to actually do what he needs to do. That's one of his primary problems. But now I'm double buffed because Renekton liked going for a red buff while not accounting for anybody. Because I knew he was probably going to go for that red buff after Ian was seemingly scared away. I saw this dive in progress. I didn't want to go into the middle of everybody. I was thinking about doing that, but then I realized that they'd probably all turn on me if I did that. So I went around, even though unfortunately it cost me my teammates' lives. I also killed two people. And I flashed away from Leona when in reality I should have killed her and then just juked around Lee Sin or something. And then it wouldn't have caused me to die. Also, I go ahead and kill Lee Sin after that. I mean, it gave him 500 gold, so I don't know if it was worth it, but I killed Lee Sin afterwards, so I got 3 kills out of 4 of my teammates dying, so I guess that's worth it. Not really. But Anyway, I'm a selfish prick, so disregard the selfish comments that I may throw your way. I think what they also need to do to Ziggs is reduce the missile speed time on his mines, because one of the big problems with Ziggs is that you think that you can hit them with your AoE mines and stuff because it's got a big range, but it takes like 2 seconds or something to get them all out. So I'd like to play Ziggs more, but that's a big problem for when you need that utility and it's not there because you can't lay it down, because you can't lay down your mines fast enough. But once more, this is just me farming. I've got an Abyssal Scepter now, mainly because of Ziggs, and I don't want to get horribly nuked and destroyed by Ziggs. But in the meantime, Lee Sin's getting his red. I don't care about that. We're starting to group up now, and this is what you want to do. I mean, especially in a situation like this. And Corky gets caught. I mean, and right now this is kind of a disorganized team fight on their part. I don't know what was going on, really. I mean, everyone was just kind of going in multiple places. This is kind of what happens in solo queue. Oh boy. And that Leona died to Alistar. I don't remember, did I kill anyone here? No, I didn't. I was too low health. I couldn't really do anything. And oh god, we ignored Corky, and then this is what happened. And I horribly aimed my passive. Yeah, our team fights were really disorganized at the beginning. That's the main thing that I feel like I need to work on. Is even though I don't want to get myself into the middle of everybody to get the squishy, I still don't want to completely ignore him when he's right fucking next to me. Like, there was a part, I think, where Ziggs was like right there, and what I could have done is I could have bound him and then Q'd him, and he would have been dead. I mean, there's just Ezreal would have killed him when he went in on him. But I was not that insightful, as you could clearly tell. I mean, this game was alright, but it wasn't great. I mean, I'll even go as far to admit that, because early on we really struggled at organizing teamfights properly. I mean, Eli was really good at teamfights, though. I mean, he got that initiation really well on Corky, but the problem was we didn't have any follow-up on it, so the teamfight ended badly on our behalf. Also, this Corky's gonna die. I don't know what he was doing, going for an Ezreal like that. I mean, oh no, he escaped, that's right. And then Ezreal missed his ultimate like a pro. And I don't know why Lee Sin went on that. And then got completely murked like that. I mean, he didn't die, but he got really crushed. Ziggs, I believe, dies here. I don't quite remember. Oh wait, no, he does not. My memory is shot to hell. Oh god, what's happening up there? And Renekton, much to his annoyance, I'm sure, gets stunned. The main thing was, the Renekton said at the end, I kicked Kennen's ass, but it didn't matter. The problem is that he kept trying to push his lead way too much. The really important thing about Renekton is, once more, knowing your limits. If you're ahead, you don't want to, like, give that up by giving Zyra a kill or two. Or giving Kennen a kill. I think he gave Kennen a kill. Pretty sure. But once more, I digress. I'm getting blue buff right now. I don't know why I didn't put up ranged plants to kill this faster, but shows what I know. He almost gets that, but I'm long gone by then. And I was like, nope. That's what I said in Skype, because I am a cocky bastard. I don't know why you get caught like that, Kennen. Why you get caught like that, Ian? That's not good. That's what I was saying. No, don't get caught, and then our top turret dies. But then we kill Ziggs, so I guess that kind of matters. Now we're both 4v5, but it doesn't really matter because we've got... I mean... Oh man! No! Alistar, you're not gonna die because you're a badass. And I don't know what happened here. I mean, I was trying to make something happen. I thought they were all gonna engage. That's why I put my ultimate out. Luckily, it's got a semi-decent cooldown. I mean, it's got a 70-second cooldown, so no big deal there. Granted, Gragas has a shorter cooldown, but we'll take what we can get. Yeah, this is just us kind of fiddling around. I was waiting for the Corki to go in on Ezreal so that I could get a free kill or something. It's just, I feel like people in this game need to learn when to press your advantage and when not to. Because people seem to think that the only way to win this game is getting the highest KDR in the game. But that's not the case. When I played Zyra this one game, I believe it was an Udyr. Yes, it was an Udyr that kept ganking me in mid lane. And I was getting camped all day, and I went like something like 1-5 or something. It was a really bad game. But it didn't matter because they didn't try to shut down Cho'Gath. And that was Ian again. Ian is a badass and knows a lot about this game. He never got ganked really at top, and whenever he did, he'd just either get away or it would be like a completely half-assed gank. Against me, though, they were completely dead set on shutting me down rather than keeping Cho'Gath from farming, which is, in my opinion, a lot more important, especially early. Because if Cho'Gath can't farm early, he's going to be dead weight by the end of the game. If you can keep Zyra from farming early, she will not be dead weight by the end of the game. She will kill everyone anyway. This was really disorganized on both parts yet again. I flashed out of that because I don't know what the fuck killed that. I think it was the plant. Yeah, the plant killed all of them. That was a really silly and disorganized dive. I don't know why they did that, but we came out completely ahead in that exchange. We got 3-0. That's definitely not what they wanted with their advantage. We're still behind in gold, but we do make a comeback, and you'll see that. Corki's really ahead, but as I already said, I'm about to get, let me see, did I get a chain vest here? Yeah, I do. I get a chain vest. I'm going to build that into a Zhonya's, but I don't get a Zhonya's because of how quickly we win. Again, they're ahead in towers, but they're treating it like they're way ahead, but they're not way ahead. They're almost 10k gold ahead, but if you throw away that lead, it means pretty much nothing. I mean, Corki's really fed and stuff, and I was a little worried about that, but again, Corki can't get close to me safely with an Alistar and Nautilus around. Another thing that Scone brought to my attention was that his team is that Ziggs' team could not get Nautilus off of Ziggs. That's another problem, is that if you can't get CC off of an AP carry, especially one like Ziggs that's really slow and has no escape, there's not a whole lot they can do. The only time they can do something is if there's no real follow-up with the team. Our team is pretty much when you wouldn't want to pick Ziggs. We had Nautilus, we had Zyra and Kennen and Alistar. Those are all big no-nos for, oh man, and then this Corki, not sure what this Corki was doing, but he goes ahead and dies here, I believe. Yeah, he just dies, like, right off the bat. But so do I, because, again, it was a matter of, hey, if you don't pay attention, everyone's gonna die. Like, if you don't pay attention to Ziggs' burst, he's going to destroy you. Also, yeah, Kennen gets a triple kill. This puts him ahead, and it's actually, let me look at this. Yeah, this actually puts him ahead of Renekton in farm and in gold now, because he's got 9 assists. Let me look at the gold totals, actually. I want to make sure I'm right on this. Not quite. He's not quite ahead of him in gold. but I'm ahead of Ziggs in gold because I'm just fed up the ass. Like, again, it doesn't. I mean, you have to pick your fights. That's another thing. You have to pick your fights. If you're fighting if you're planning on ganking a Zyra or whatever, that's fine and all, but you gotta make sure it's gonna make a difference. If you, Udyr, are the one getting the kills every single time you go to mid, and then Zyra ends up steamrolling your team anyway because of the vast utility she has at her disposal, and you don't ever gank Cho'Gath, there is something wrong with that picture. Because come late game, Cho'Gath is going to be a lot harder to kill, and you're never going to do anything to him, and he will just... I think what Ian said was something like, late game, my ultimate was doing about 1,000 damage because I had Rabadons. So, there's something you got to think about. I mean, what would you rather have? An 800 damage... thing that's gonna do about 800 damage anyway, whether or not you do anything or not. Or would you rather have both that and a Cho'Gath ultimate that does about 1,000 damage? Those are just some things you have to keep in mind. I don't know why Ian was going this far. I mean, especially against the Leona, there was no reason for it to get caught like this. That's not what we needed. And I was like, don't get caught, bro. I was like in a bad position too, but it didn't really matter. I mean, what's Renekton gonna do? I missed my bind there. If he had gotten this dash on me, I probably would have died. But I also have my ultimate, and I think I have flash. Yeah, I have flash too, so it's no big deal either. They make an aggressive move on Baron, and I believe this is where the big turnaround came along. We were already creeping behind them in gold because they were acting like they owned the place, but just look at... Hang on, you'll have to see this sexy Baron steal. Sorry for the spoiler alert, but just... Oh god, that Baron steal, so good! Oh god, Scone Thief, you're so amazing at smiting! And I just throw everything out there, and I somehow got a kill because of it. Renekton killed me, but... didn't matter. I killed Renekton with my passive, so it really didn't make a bit of difference. We came out ahead and we have Baron, and we also gave Ezreal Baron, so no big deal there either. Don't know why Alistar has Boots of Swiftness. 2 pro build, I guess. That fucking Baron steal, dude, that was what set us really ahead. I don't know how he timed that so well. I don't even think he knew if he was going to time it properly, but... whew, that's what we needed. Started out with a that's not to a that is what we needed. Yeah, just... man, I mean... this is where the turnaround really happened. We started taking, like, turrets down, and now we're ahead in gold from that Baron steal and from the turrets we took down. We got this turret right here. I believe we wanted to make a move on mid. I mean on bottom. Bottom lane was looking pretty tasty to me with all that farm. So I went ahead and got all that farm because I am a sexy beast. Yeah, now I am quite ahead of Ziggs in gold. Started out where I wasn't, but then it ended on a high note. It's just... when you give the team this much of an advantage, not just with the Baron steal, but with all the silly dives and all the silly team fights they went in on, and all the times where Corki went balls to the wall and charged in like an idiot against a Nautilus, there's just, you kind of deserve the loss, no offense, but you just kind of do. And me, I'm really slow, so I'm laggingly trying to catch up to my team. So, I don't know remember what we're grouping up for, but I mean, I think what we were trying to do was catch somebody, but if the rest of the team was there, they'd probably destroy us. What I wanted to do was I wanted to bind somebody, but I wanted but I also wanted that Banshee's Veil on Corky Pop, because in that case, oh man, then we get this really awesome engage off. And, oh man, we just completely wrecked the house. The Ziggs just can't catch a break. And we go ahead and clean this shit up. And I believe this is where we push to win. Yes, this is where we push to win. But then they surrender, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, overall, Zyra's a really strong champion. And I would really recommend her to somebody that likes intricate champions that really combo their abilities effectively and can control a team fight really effectively and want to win objectives like team fights and like CC locking and killing squishies really quickly, that kind of thing. There's just definitely something to her that makes her a lot of fun to play. If they ever buff Orianna, I'd probably think about playing her too, because of just how fun both of those champions are. So that's GG. Go ahead and favorite or like or comment on the video, whatever you want to do. Just tell me what you think about this commentary. See, I just want your feedback. See what everyone thinks about this, and I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.